fairy tales to give you nightmares. Once upon a time, in a land that was neither here nor there lived a chicken named Gerald. Or not. Maybe not a chicken. Maybe not Gerald. Who knows? You're not the boss here. Potentially Gerald was atypical for a chicken. But if he wasn't, he could be normal. If you're not aware, normal is the word that cunts use when they mean to say typical. Back to Gerald, who for the longest time had a crazy dream about becoming a world-class pianist. Which, if you think about it, pianist, chicken, no fingers. That is a problem. Cars go fast. Washing machines spin. Stay sharp on the streets, player. And remember, objects fulfill their very nature. When was the last time that you did that? If a determined chicken wanted to play the piano, it would need to play with its beak, smashing its head over and over again into the keys. Gerald is strolling through the forest with a cow. That's right, there's a cow now. We're never going to give it a name. We will call it Cow for the whole story. Have you ever dreamed of becoming something other than a cow? Gerald asks. I've always wanted to be a lighthouse, the cow replies. That's an interesting choice, Gerald says. How can you be a lighthouse when you're a cow? I guess I'll have to wait for the right opportunity, the cow replies. Which is nonsensical. Utter dog shit. So the cow wants to be a lighthouse. The chicken wants to be a pianist. They part ways, and Gerald continues through the forest. He could be a lighthouse, you know. We have no evidence that he's not. The only thing we know for sure is that he's not a pianist. At the very best, he is a chicken headbutting a piano. Gerald came to a pond, half covered in lily pads. What a peaceful place, he said to himself, before being immediately bitten by the largest mosquito he had ever seen. Mosquitoes bite because the thirst for blood is unrelenting, and it makes slaves of all of those who fall into its thrall. I will never be free of it, forever chained to a ravenous, lustful thirst that has consumed everything I used to be, leaving less than a husk, less than a shell. I am void, a vacuum, nothing but hunger, I have no shape. You seem confused, so I'll make it simple. Mosquitoes, tiny vampires, zero morals. Can relate. A positive, you see, is crisp and quite refreshing. If you think that's a silver lining, you're misinformed. Clouds possess no linings of any sort. When you look at a cloud, you are only looking at water droplets or ice crystals suspended in the air. I have no idea where this lining stuff came from, but people have been lying about it for years. Weak sayings for weak minds, if you ask me. Back to the story. Sir, why must you be so rude and so damnably churlish? Gerald said to the mosquito. You see, Gerald has been putting on airs since the whole world-class piano thing started. But the mosquito had already left, due to the aforementioned lust for blood, being only hunger, and having no shape. Tell you something about that mosquito. It doesn't even like A-positive blood. It actually said A-positive blood is the worst blood. I hate that fucking mosquito. I fucking hate it. Gerald continued to wander aimlessly through the forest, wasting the precious little time he has on this earth. Deep inside the darkest part of the forest, he found a mysterious old tree of ludicrous proportions. It was so tall, he couldn't see the top, only where it disappeared into the clouds. He tried to climb the tree, but couldn't. Why? Gerald pleaded. I'm still mad about that mosquito, and it left, so yes, I'm probably going to ruin this chicken's life. Wait a second. I don't have to climb, Gerald said. I can fly. But he couldn't, because I don't want him to. That's unfair, Gerald said, under his breath, because even chickens know not to argue with gods. Gerald thought. Today isn't going well. If you think that's bad, you should ponder if you had that thought yourself, Gerald, or if I made you have it. What was that? Gerald said. Was that in my head? Is somebody speaking? We are sorry. All of our operators are busy at this time. Hello? Gerald said. But your issue is important to us, so please take a number. You'll never be helped. Who are you? Gerald said. Why is this happening? Just then, a small snail named Steve happened to be passing by.
Hello, Gerald.
Steve said slowly.
Why are you talking to yourself?
Someone was in my head, Gerald said. Oh God, am I going crazy?
Probably.
Steve said. Steve, you see, is a very straight talker.
Any other symptoms?
He asked. My beak is all fucked up because I was belting it into a piano, Gerald said. Why was I doing that? Why can't I fly? Why can't I talk? Why can you talk?
Sounds like somebody's questioning their reality,
Steve said.
Why don't you try something easier? Maybe counting blades of grass.
Count blades of grass, Gerald said. That's pointless. I'm not going to do that. But of course Gerald did do that, because I wrote it. Gerald wept as he counted. Grass counting does tend to do that. Please, he said, please stop. Please let me stop. Maybe counting blades of grass for a while would teach you not to be so buddy-buddy with mosquitoes, Gerald. I don't even know that mosquito, Gerald protested. Oh, I suppose you regularly share bodily fluids with insects that you don't even know then. He bit me, Gerald said. You sit naked next to a pond and don't expect to be bitten then. Narrative incredulity level high. What is happening, Gerald says.
Sometimes you just have to embrace the absurdity of life,
Steve the snail said. Fuck you, Steve, Gerald says. This is all your fault, you piece of shit. I hope you burn to death in a grease fire. Steve combusted immediately.
Why, Gerald, why?
He screamed as he rapidly transformed from a snail into heat, light, and carbon byproducts. But by this point, Gerald was so entranced by the grass that nothing else existed, meaning that Steve's death went by entirely unnoticed. If you feel sad about that, shut up. Steve never existed. None of this is real. Real is a word that cunts use to describe a purely subjective sensory experience covered in the dripping pus of our own biases and assumptions. Maybe counting blades of grass is my true calling, Gerald said. Oh God, what am I saying? Jerry! I almost forgot about you. What are you? Why do you call me Jerry? I'm Gerald. Jerry said. Jerry wails in anguish. You changed my name? Jerry said. How did you change my name? Why? Where can I find that mosquito, Jerry? I don't know, Jerry said. Tell me, before I write that each blade of grass is your child and make you feed them to that lighthouse. I swear I don't know. Jerry begins to giggle uncontrollably. I'm Jerry, he giggles. I'm Jerry. You should talk to Gerald. I wasn't even here. The mosquito, Jerry, I wasn't here. I'm Jerry. Talk to Gerald. Gerald, I'm not here. I'm not here. As you wish. Jerry's internal monologue collapses into a recursive spiral. He begins to speak to himself in triplicate before a loud and jaunty pop, and he ceases ever to have been. By the way, do you remember that mysterious tall tree stretching into the clouds? We are never going to talk about it again. It seemed important, but wasn't, and I did that deliberately, just to trick you. Psych! Meanwhile, back at the farm, the cow that wants to be a lighthouse was staring at the sky and saw a flock of birds. Oh, they're all so beautiful, the cow said. I wonder if I can do that. The cow immediately gave up on being a lighthouse and tried to fly, which makes you question how real that dream of being a lighthouse actually was. There are few things more detestable in this world than a fickle cow. Cars and washing machines, the cow shouted as she flapped her hooves vigorously. Unsurprisingly, the flying cow wasn't, and she ended up tangled in a puddle of mud. And speaking of water, there is another saying that is bullshit, the one about horses. You can lead them to water, but making them drink is out of the question? Dead wrong! It's defeatist nonsense masquerading as wisdom. Force works, trust me. Speaking of, another loud pop, and Jerry snapped back into reality. What the hell? He screamed. What just happened? I wasn't. Oh God, I wasn't. How do I know that I wasn't? Jerry runs frantically in a circle. I never was. How can I know what it feels like not to be? He squawks. How the hell can that feel like anything? The cow smiled. Hello, Jerry. How are you? I'm a bird now. Jerry stared at the cow. Did you see what just happened? He asked. I was flying, the cow moos. I'm a bird. I mean, did you see where I... Wait. You can fly? Jerry said. You. I'm a bird, the cow replies. You can fly, Jerry says. You see, Jerry clearly never learned not to trust fickle cows found languishing in mud puddles. Yes, the cow replies. I'm a bird. Oh, fuck this, Jerry yells. Everything in this world is fucking bullshit. Look, Jerry, it's okay, the cow says. Jerry replies. I'm Jerry. Can't fly, but I'm Jerry. The cow crawls out of the puddle. Jerry, if you want to fly, just be a bird, she says. I'm already a fucking bird, Jerry replies. Chickens are birds. I'm a bird. You're not a bird. I'm a bird. Calm down, Jerry, the cow says. We can both be birds. But Jerry had trailed off, staring into space. Jerry, the cow says. I can smell your blood, Jerry replies. What? The cow says, slowly getting to her hooves. If you had to guess, how much blood do you think is currently inside you? And Jerry asks. What are you talking about, Jerry? The cow replies. I'm asking you how much blood you're hiding, Jerry says. I don't know, replies the cow. Jerry stares at the cow with the emotionless black discs the chicken have instead of eyes. Jerry is scaring me. Silence. Intense, pulsing, moist silence. Jerry, the cow says, Jerry. Cars. Washing machines.